the Real Estate Training Podcast with Kiki Salcido, turning decades into days.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Training Podcast. I am your host, Kiki Salcido, and very happy you guys are tuning back in because today we're breaking down some more numbers. So again, if you've listened to the past 3 episodes, you followed those steps in those episodes, you are now ready for this episode. And this episode is breaking down how we're going to get to your net income. And that's the most important, right? Because it's what you're bringing home, what you're feeding your family, what's going in your pocket, right? That's the most important part. So we're going to break this down and well, I hope you guys get some value out of this, right? So first and foremost, we're going to need to set a goal. Talked about that before. So we're going to set an income goal, a money goal. We'll just call it a money goal. Money goal. What amount of money you want to bring home to your family? So the $100,000. All right, cool. So now you got to start thinking about your operating costs, right? You're a business. Businesses have operating costs. So things like offices, your dues, your licenses, right? These are more of your fixed costs. You guys know about fixed costs? Well, these are them. So it's any expense that you can kind of plan out for, a period of time. So you have to figure out your operating costs because that's most important. So next is the cost of sale. So it costs things to sell things. Believe it or not, you hear the expression, it takes money to make money. That's essentially what they're talking about. So you're going to get listings. You're going to have buyers. You're going to have to spend money on gas. You're going to have to spend money on signs. You're going to have to spend money on postcards, on stamps, on envelopes. You're going to have to spend money to make money. So that is the cost of sale. That is something you got to think about. So we're gonna need that number. So you guys either setting it up, we'll get to it, right? Don't even worry about it. We're gonna help you out, right? If you don't know the number already, right, what these numbers are, we're gonna help you out. Okay. Next is the gross commission income. So again, we're gonna get to this, and then the buyer sides and listing sides, because you do want to have a balanced business. Now, in the beginning, you might be leaning more towards the buyer side, guys, and I agree with that. I think you should start on the buyer side simply because you're going to learn the market, right? If you're just starting as a listing broker and you just get a listing, how in the world do you know how to price that house within the area? Yeah, you're going to run comps, but have you walked in other houses in that area? Do you know, right? Like if you're just basing it off of that basic bed bath square footage kind of ratio, like you're wrong, bro. You're going to have to go into houses and see, because not all square footage is made the same. Honestly. All right. Sorry. Anyways. So, net income divided by your operating cost divided by your cost of sales equals your gross commission earned. Okay. So now let's say we don't have those numbers. Okay. So we're going to take averages. So on average, your operating costs are going to be it's literally between like 15 to 30%. Okay. On average. Same with your cost of sales, between 15 to 30%. But I like to be very conservative. So I'm going to push it more towards the 30%. So let's use this example where I plugged in 29.2%. Because I think, I can control my business and I can bring down some of my operating cost, hopefully, right? But here's the thing is, as you grow, that number is going to grow. Okay, so you might start off at maybe at a 5% operating cost because you don't have an office. But as you grow, man, that number is going to change. So just think about that. Same as the cost of sales, right? More houses you have, more leads you have, more nurturing you have. Right, you're going to hire ISAs, you're going to hire assistants, you're going to do all this stuff to grow your business. So you got to grow, right? It's called scaling. So in this example, we have 29.2% for our operating cost and our cost of sales. So I want to make $500,000. That's my goal, right? I want to make $500,000 this year myself, right? Not my team, nobody else, just me. I want to do that by myself. And so I'm going to say 29.2% of $500,000 is $146,000. So I'm going to divide that. And then I'm going to divide that by $146,000. And then I'm going to come up with a GCI, or gross commission income, of $792,000. $792,000. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm bad with numbers. And that's okay. Nah, I get the hang of it. Don't worry. You don't worry about it. All right. Okay. So now we have those numbers, and now we want to break down how many buyers and sellers we need to have in order to reach that goal, right? So one of the best things I love about goals is you set that goal, and then you're going to start working backwards from that goal, right? So I just set a goal of $500,000, and now I'm working backwards. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So I need to make almost $800,000. And so how do I make $800,000? How many buyers and how many sellers am I going to need? So I'm going to go and say, all right, how much gross revenue of my buyers and how much gross revenue of my sellers? This, if you're just starting out, you can go 50-50, you might go 70-30. But if you've been in business, you should be able to kind of go back through your numbers and say, okay, I'm typically doing X amount of buyers, right? I did 7 buyers last year and I did 3 sellers. So I'm at a 70-30, okay? So we're going to take how much we would need from each one of those. So we would just essentially, take out of 800,000, right? And 70% of that, and that's going to be the gross revenue of your buyers. And then you're going to divide that by your typical commission, right? So in your area, if it's 2%, if it's 2.5%, if it's 3%, you're going to divide it by that. And so for this example, I'm going to use 3%. So I'm going to divide the gross revenue divided by 3, and that'll give me my total sold volume, okay? So how much total volume I actually need to sell on the buyer side, right? So we're just in the buyer column right now. So after that, we will then divide what our average sales price is, okay? In your market, you have an average sales price. In, we have macro markets, the average sales price of the whole market, but we're thinking about your average sales price. If you don't know that, then use your market's average sales price, okay? But if you do know your own average sales price, use that. And then that's going to equal how many buyers, right? Because we're in the buyer column. How many buyers that you've sold. And then we're going to use our conversion rate because we're tracking that, right? So in the last episode, I had a 20% conversion rate. So I'm going to divide that by 20%, and that's going to see how many buyers that I need to take. And then I'm going to divide that by my conversion ratio, and that's how many appointments I need to set, right? So I had the appointment, right? Call to appointment ratio. And then I have my appointment to client ratio. And then I have my client to closed ratio. And so that's where I'm going to plug these in, right? What's my conversion rate with actual listings that I've taken, right? So this is the client to closed. What's that conversion rate? That's 20%. What's my conversion rate from me going to the appointment and making them my clients? That's 75%, right? If we're using that last example. So I could plug these numbers in, and that's going to tell me how many listing appointments I need to make. Buyer appointments that I need to make that year in order to reach my goal. All right. So in this example, I want to make 500,000. So I'm going to say, if I go through this, I'll probably need total appointments. I'll need 106 total appointments. That's only 9 a month, guys. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. To reach $500,000 in my pocket 9 appointments a month, dude, I can do that, right? But what does that look like in calls, right? What's my conversion ratio with calls? So this says I have to do 408 calls. That's 34 a month. That's not bad. And I have to add 816, 400, guys, 34 calls a month. That's literally doing like 1.1 calls a day. And you can make half a million dollars. That's why I love breaking down the numbers, right? Amazing. All right. I have to add 816 people in my database. So that means I have to go out and meet 68 people a month. That, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, how do I meet 68 people a month? Go have fun. Try that. Seriously. Go, like what you like doing recreationally, like if you like playing pickleball or if you like hiking or ice skating, go do that, but interact with the people around you. That's how you meet people. And that's how you meet people you want to do business with, because they share similar interests with you. So guys, one of your fixed costs, your operating costs can be a membership. And that's something you can write off because that's a source of business that goes towards the bottom line. And you could prove that, look, I got 30% of my business came from going rock climbing. That sounds like a cool way to do business, guys. That sounds like a really fun way to grow and put food on my family's table, is to go rock climbing and hang out with friends and build these awesome relationships and get paid these commissions of smiles and hugs and handshakes, right? Referrals. So, you guys, breaking down the numbers, setting those goals, building that roadmap, that is the important part, right? And then you break it down monthly, you can break it down weekly, and you at least know, okay, what do I need to do today? And whenever you have your database set up in a great CRM like Follow Up Boss, every morning I get an email. I literally get an email that tells me what I need to do today. What appointments I have, what tasks I need to do. And if I do those, and literally my business just keeps going. And I don't have to think about what I need to do next. And that allows more free time, right? Because a lot of us got into this because we wanted more free time. But you have to create free time. There's a great book called The 4-Hour Workweek. And it, a lot of it is talking about hiring like virtual assistants and stuff like that. And like you could totally do that. But for me, the big takeaway is leverage. Right? The more you can leverage yourself, and leveraging could be automation. It could be time blocking, right? It's organization. Like that's leveraging yourself to perform at a high level. So if you could do those things, do that. And you will be blown away with what you can accomplish. And that's why, you don't have dreams, guys. You have goals. So go accomplish those goals. Go crush it. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Real Estate Training Podcast. Hopefully you guys got some good nuggets. Please check us out online at k2simply.com. Follow us on social media, K2Simply Real Estate. See you guys at the next episode.
The Real Estate Training Podcast with Kiki Salcido, turning decades into days.